In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful, good afternoon, students. Today we're going to start teaching lesson 7. As you could see, the lesson 7 is about the environment, and one of the important, let me say that really, in the realm of grammar, important subject would be subject verb agreement. As you could see here, the subject is about subject and verb agreement. Agreement between subject and verb is one of the important and determinative subjects in English education, and I believe nobody can deny this reality that the accuracy of different sentences in one word depends directly on the agreement between subject and verb. In English language, we have, let me just write, therefore, we're going to talk about the subject and verb agreement. I'm sure you know that a subject is the actor, is the person or the animal or something who do some kind of job. For example, when I say my brother helps me. As you could see, my brother is a person who help somebody, let me say me. Therefore, this my brother would be the subject, and I'm sure you know what is verb. Okay, verb, which I indicate here with the yellow color, here in this sentence would be the help. Here we are going to concentrate on the relationship between the subject, I mean my brother, and the help, I mean as a subject, and the verb. When we talk about such a kind of agreement, I want to refer just in a quick term to Arabic or French language. We have the same category in these two other languages. I mean, in Arabic language and French. In that, and of course in Persian, we have the same agreement, but the story, is different. I want to say that in these three languages, I mean Persian, I mean Arabic, or let me say that French. Such a kind of agreement is very tight. In one word, I want to say that really, specifically the Arabic and French are the grammatical languages, and like Persian. Okay, like Persian. In Persian, for example, when we change the subject, for example, I say man miravem, okay, and when we change the subject into, for example, to, we say to miravi, او میرود، ما میرویم، شما میروید، آنها میروند. What I want to say that when we change the subject from man to او, okay, we change the verb to میروم، میروی، میرود. And we have the same story in French, for example. For example, in French, we say, for example, je suis, من هستم. When we are going to say, for example, to hasti, we say tu es. I mean, je suis, okay, je change into tu, and suis change into Therefore, man هستم، تو هستی، او هست, okay, change into je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, ما هستیم, nous sommes, شما هستید, vous êtes, and آنها هستند ils and elles sont. As you could see, here we have such a kind of agreement in French languages. But let me say that such a kind of agreement in English is easier. Okay, ساده تره, is easier. But, here we have to pay attention to some important point, to some important matters when we're gonna to, think about such a kind of agreement. Let me start by this sentence. I mean, my brother helps me. As you can see here, or here the subject is my brother, and here the verb is help. As you can see, I add s, okay, to this. Let me change the color of s into something else, okay? Now I want something else in another color. Oh, something which is better. For example, let me see, in blue color, in blue color, maybe it's better. As you could see, here I add, help, s to help. I mean, helps, as you can see here. Do you know this is what is this s? This s is a third person, okay? It's a third person. It is a third person. What does it mean? I'm sure you know that when the subject is the third person, for example, it is he, the third person, like for example he, okay, like for example she, okay, or a noun, a single noun, for example, Ali, Ali, or for example my brother or my sister, okay, a singular subject. When we are gonna to use a verb like help or such a kind of things, or for example another verb, for example clean, okay, because these subjects, I mean he and she and Ali, my sisters, are the third person, okay? I mean they are in Persian we say they are u, okay, man to u, okay, these are like u in Persian, okay? We have to add an s to the verb, okay? And therefore I write cleans, okay, cleans. For example, he cleans, she cleans, Ali cleans, my sister cleans, Oh, you said that, okay, the room, for example, and after that is not very important. This is the room. This would be the first example of, subject and verb agreement. I mean, adding this s, okay, to the verb clean. To the verb, okay, clean, to the verb clean. I want to show this one in another color, okay, adding this s to another to verb. This would be one example of agreement. But the story is in English language. Let me say that this story has different branches to be concentrated. As you could see in this book, it said that first, uncountable nouns take singular verb. In Persian we say اسامی غیر قابل شمارش با فعل مفرد به کار میرن. Okay, but the story is that what is uncountable noun? اسامی غیر قابل شمارش, what are they? Okay, yes, you know that for example in one word the subject is water, okay, yes, that's an uncountable. For example, because you cannot count water, okay, you cannot say one water, two water, okay, we cannot say, this is definitely uncountable. Or for example, when I say I don't know, the word for example juice, okay, yes, this is again uncountable. Or for example, when I say I don't know, when I say, for example, we can predict that, for example, rice is uncountable. Okay, rice in Persian we say berange, okay, these are uncountable, okay? But the story and blah 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 blah. And of course for countable noun, we know that, for example, table, is able to be counted. For example, desk, is able to be counted. I don't know, for example, pen or pencil, for example, is going to be counted. Therefore, yes, we can say that, this would be, countable noun, okay? Countable noun, okay? Countable noun, for example, and we add s when we are going to say, for example, many tables. We say many tables, okay? Many desks, okay? And many pens, okay? These are the countable nouns, okay? Pens, okay, or pens, yes. I mean, we add s when we are going to say that there are numbers of pens, numbers of desks, and number of tables, okay? But numbers of pens, okay, we add s, okay? For example, 3 tables, 4 tables, I don't know, 5 desks, yes, we add, s as a, plural, let me say that, affixes, okay? But for and we know that this, the first group would be uncountable, okay? Uncountable, yes, uncountable, because you cannot count this one. But the story is not simple. We have many many nouns which we cannot predict. As non-native speakers, we cannot predict whether they are countable or uncountable. For example, money, okay? Is it countable or uncountable? Money, okay? Or for example, something, information. Is it information, okay? Is it countable or uncountable? I mean, is it true to say that informations, okay? Or for example, committee, okay? Committee, committee, okay? In Persian say komite, okay? A group of people, okay? Whether they are countable or uncountable. Or for example, we have some plural noun, okay? For example, equipment, let me say, sorry, equipment, whether we have is it true to say that equipment or equipment is the correct one? Whether really are there countable or for example something like for example butter, okay? Butter, okay? Butter in Persian we say kare, okay? Is it countable or uncountable? Or for example marmalade, okay? Marmalade, okay? Of course, I wonder a bit the spelling. I have to change it, okay? Marmalade, okay? Yes, marmalade, okay? Is it morabba, okay? Is it countable or uncountable? The story is very different. As a first lesson, I want to say that when as a student who's gonna to participate in all examination or write something, okay? When you exercise writing, so my suggestions say that when you are in doubt, okay, whether for example I don't know, you're going to use a subject, okay, and you don't know whether this subject is countable or uncountable, please, okay, check the subject, check the subject, okay, in a dictionary, okay? I mean subject or noun, okay, in a dictionary, and in a dictionary, okay, in a dictionary. Check the subject in a dictionary, okay? In dictionaries, okay, in a good dictionary, okay, like for example Oxford dictionary, like for example Webster dictionary, etc. You can find whether I want to make it bigger, okay? Within some dictionaries, okay, you can find, okay, that whether a noun is countable or uncountable. You can find, for example, in a dictionary the countable noun, okay, is shown by the C. Of course, here we have something like that, okay? C means countable, okay, means countable. And uncountable, are U, okay? U means these are uncountable, okay? uncountable, like this one. Okay, in dictionaries you can find by such a kind of point, you can find whether a word is countable or uncountable. Whether this word is countable or uncountable, but there are some rules, okay, to be declared, and which help you to distinguish whether the word is uncountable or countable. We have some kind of exception. Let's today talk about some exceptions. Is not okay? Look at exceptions. Sorry. Exceptions. Oh, I'm so sorry. Exceptions. Okay. Look at, for example, the word. Some word like for example fish. Okay, like for example chicken. Like for example some kind of foods, okay, which just today I want to remember, or different kind of kinds of foods, okay. Normally when we for example when we are going to say, for example, look at this example, fish, okay, is cooked, okay, in this restaurant. As you can see here, fish refers to a kind of food, okay, خوراک ماهی, okay. In this example, you can see that we have the word fish, and for such a kind of things, okay, we use a singular form of verb. شکل مفرد در واقع فعل to be رو استفاده میکنیم, okay. Fish is cooked, okay. But if this fish refers to animals, okay, for example, there are many fishes, okay, in the river. Here, this fish is the a kind of animals, okay, Therefore, as you could see, this would be the countable. And as you could see, for in this case, we add es, okay, here, and many, okay, many. To say that yes, there are more than one fish here, okay. And of course, for chicken, we have the same story. For example, if chicken refers to a kind of food, okay, it's a singular, it's an uncountable noun. But if it refers to chickens, okay, and jujaha, okay, again would be the countable one. Or the food itself, the word food, okay. When we're gonna to refer just to one type of food, okay, when we're gonna to just one type of food, okay, definitely this is uncountable, okay, uncountable, okay. For example, food is ready. Food, as you could see, is ready. As you could see here, I cannot say, for example, because I want to refer to just one. It's not, I cannot use the word as foods. No. But sometimes, there are numbers, different kinds of food. Okay, for example, pizza, for example, chicken, for example, fish, and we want to refer to different kinds of food. Okay, here, yes, we can, mention food as an countable noun, and we can say, for example, there are, okay, different foods. As you could see here, I use foods, okay, on the table, okay. Here in this, as I said before, we're gonna refer to different kind of food, okay, as another exception. Therefore, this would be the for exception. Therefore, this would be, for example, for food, okay, or I have to mention this one, as a food. The next exception, for countable or uncountable noun, is is those kind of noun, like for example butter, okay, butter, okay, like for example as I said before, marmalade, okay, like for example juice, okay, or water, okay, or water, okay, which, or for example, juice, okay, or for example water, or milk, such kind of things, okay, and meat, okay, all of these words are uncountable. These are uncountable, okay, or coffee, for example, coffee, okay, these are uncountable, okay, coffee, these are uncountable. All of these one are, sorry, I have to check the word coffee. Yes, by double E, coffee, these are uncountable. These are, all of them are uncountable. But the story is that when such a kind of uncountable noun is used within an I can say item, within something which for example instead of saying water, okay, we can say water is cold, okay. Here, yes, water is uncountable, and is, okay, have to, we cannot say, for example, water are, we cannot say waters, yes, because here it is uncountable, okay. But if we say, for example, I don't know, a bottle, okay, a bottle of sorry for the a bottle, okay, a bottle of water, okay. When we say یک بطری آب, okay, here the subject is not water anymore, okay. Here the subject is the bottle, okay, is the bottle, okay. And here, for example, we can say a bottle of water, for example, is, okay, but if we say, for example, two bottles, okay, if we say two bottles of water, okay, we can say are, okay, here, two bottles of water are, okay, or three bottles of water, are, okay. Or for example, juice, let me, for example, a glass of juice, okay, a glass of juice, okay, a glass of juice, a glass of juice, and so juice is not the subject anywhere here, okay, but a glass, okay. Instead of a glass, we can say, for example, two glasses, three glasses, for example, three glasses, four glasses, okay, three glasses, four glasses, etc. And when we say three glasses of juice, for example, I can say not is ready, already, okay, already, because here the subject is not juice anymore. This are, okay, this are return to three glasses, okay, this is the point, okay, for such a kind of things, okay. A cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, for example, a bottle of milk, 2 bottles of milk, or for example, for the butter and for etc. Okay, what I want to say that there are some nouns like butter, marmalade, juice, and water and milk. Okay, all of these are uncountable. These are uncountable. But these uncountable noun could be countable if like water, okay, they use within something else. For example, this water is used by 2 bottles, okay, 2 bottles, 3 glasses, okay. When they use within their, I don't know, within by something else, okay, by their units, something like that, okay, the subject would not be water. the subject would be 2 bottles, okay, 3 bottles, etc. Therefore, this is very, for example, look at the word cake, okay, look at the word cake. Cake by itself is uncountable. Cake, okay, cake is uncountable. But when we say a piece of cake, okay, a piece of cake, یک تیکه cake, okay, this a piece, okay, you know, can change into, for example, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, okay, 4 pieces, okay, sorry, 4 pieces of cake, okay, 5 pieces of cake, okay, 4 تیکه cake, 5 تیکه cake, okay, you know, you have to use, you know, such a kind of thing. For this group of, nouns which by themselves they are uncountable, but you can change it into countable ones when you use them within their units. در داخل واحدشون قرارشون میدید، اوکی، و با این واحد در واقع تبدیل به اسامی قابل شمارش میشن. There would be a table، یک جدولی وجود داره. And I will send you, okay, you know, براتون خواهم فرستاد the tables and the units, okay، اون واحدی که برای هر اسمی استفاده می شود. This would be the second part, okay, you know, I mean the after food, okay, you know, this would be the second exception, okay, this second exception, okay, this would be the second exceptions. I want to mention, okay, you know, nouns within in their units، در داخل واحداشون وقتی استفاده میشن، واحدهایی که دارن. The third part, okay, you know, would be what? Again, for countable or uncountable noun, okay, let me say. The third one, okay, the third one, the third one, oh, I remember the word, for example, rice, okay, rice، برنج. Rice by itself is uncountable, okay, is uncountable. ولی همین رایس رو وقتی شما در داخل در واقع یک واحد استفاده میکنیم، مثلا میگه a bag of rice، یک کیسه برنج، اوکی. خب این دیگه چیزی که در واقع اینجا مهمه، این چیزی که فاعل دیگه رایس نیست بلکه a bag، اوکی. و میتونیم بگه 2 bags of rice، 4 bags of rice، و به طبیعت از اون چون bag جمع بسته میشه میتونیم مثلا حالا این فعلی که اینجا میخوای استفاده کنیم به طبیعت جمع ببندیم. This would be another story, okay. The third part, okay, would be what? So would be some. Let me say that some points, okay, some points in this agenda. این نکته یه سری نکات دیگه را من به شما بگم که به همین اکسپشن ها که من به اسم یه سری نکات، حالا چون خیلی متفرقه است در واقع من چیز میکنم به عنوان پوینت یا نکته اسمشو میبرم. ببینید اولی چیه؟ 3-1. There are some stories as I said for committee, for example, okay, committee, for example, committee. Okay, this is the word committee. به معنی کمیته، به معنی که حالا اعضای یک نفر. Okay, this committee by itself is uncountable. Okay, you know, uncountable. And of course, it could be countable. Okay, look at this sentence. For example, we say that the committee, okay, decides to, for example, you know, to do the action. As you could see here, the committee, this supports one sentence, and the next one, the committees, the committees decide to, again, do the action. Okay, as you could see, the committee in the first sentence, okay, is an uncountable. چرا uncountable? Because the committee in the first sentence refer to all members of the group, not by each member, okay? Not each members, okay? Not each member, okay? You know, the committee, I mean the whole members of the committee, not each member. But when we say committees, okay, you know, I mean change committee into committees, okay? Remember each members of the committee, okay? Yeah, each members, okay? Each members of committee, okay? Each member of the committee, okay? I mean 1, 2, 3, okay? Now you know, each members of the committee, okay, you know, decide to do this. Got it? Therefore, when the committee, the word refer to either the committee as a whole, okay, committee به عنوان کل and not each member, this committee is uncountable noun. But when you know refers to each member of the committee, okay, هر عضوی از این کمیته در واقع تصمیم گرفتن، اشاره میکنه به تک تک اعضای کمیته. This would be countable, okay, and we can change committee into committees. As you can see, there is another exception in this part, okay, and the next point which I want to refer is I want to, you know, add another point. I want to look at your book, okay, you know, and refers to what else? You know, this would be the countable or uncountable noun, okay, which I explained it. Okay, you know, for example, we use group of people, government, team. This is uncountable. Number 1, the uncountable nouns take singular verbs. اسامی غیر قابل شمارش فعل مفرد میگیرن که گفتم بهتون که خیلی دقت کنید. اسم غیر قابل شمارش یه مقداری در خیلی جا پردیکشن سخته و وقتی دارید تمرین میکنید اگه شک میکنید آیا این اسم قابل شمارشه یا غیر قابل شمارشه، در دیکشنری چک کنید. باید در جلسه هستید اسامی رو به عنوان فاعل انتخاب نکنید که شک دارید که این جمع بسته میشه یا جمع بسته نمیشه. چون من این تیکر فارسی براتون بگم، ببینید اینکه شما چه حالا اسمی رو به عنوان اسم قابل شمارش یا غیر قابل شمارش استفاده میکنید، روز 3 تا جزء در جمله ببینید تاثیر میذاره. من اینا رو بردمش بالا که یک کمی حالا خیلی هم ریز شد، یه ذره بذار بزرگترش کنم، مثلا با فونت 14 بگیرم که یه ذره اوکی. ببینید شما وقتی یک اسم رو حالا به عنوان اسم قابل شمارش یا غیر قابل، حالا بذارید یک، حالا این نکته از آخر اشاره میکنم، اوکی، بدون فعلا به همین اکسپشن ها برسم، بعد میگم حالا چه نقشی داره. شماره 2 میگه we use group of people, government, team, singular or plural name. این همین حرفی که من خدمتتون عرض کردم، من با من کامیتی زدم. ببینید میگه clouds, you know, form when water molecules evaporate into air. اوکی، میگه cloud ابرها شکل میگیرند. خوب دقت کنید وقتی که مولکول های آب خدمتتون عرض شود evaporate میشن، یعنی چی میگن در اصطلاح، تبخیر میشن در داخل هوا. As you could see, cloud, okay, you know, is a countable noun, okay. خب جمع بسته شده و برای فرم هم که میدونید یعنی فرم گرفتن، همینجوری میدونید فرم شکل مفرد داره. و مولکولز هم در واقع به عنوان یک اسم countable، مولکول ها. خب فعلی که براش استفاده شده در واقع ببینید فعلی که مثلا ننوشتن evaporates، اسم جمع ندادن، اسم سوم شخص ندادن، باشید اسم سوم شخص ندادن، گفتن evaporate. اما به این مثال دقت کنید، the government میگه با government، این مثل همون کمیتی، اوکی، یا تیم مثلا، این میتونه هم باش فعل ایز استفاده بشه هم آر. چه وقتی گفتم بهتون وقتی government مثلا میگه the government is building، government به معنی یک معنی کلی، یعنی کل دولت اگه منظور این باشه، اوکی، is building، خب بعد اینجا is استفاده بشه، the government is building. When farm in the north of میگه در شمال کشور در واقع دولت به معنی کلی در واقع حالا باید بشه is. اوکی is building. ولی اگر اینجا منظور باشه اعضای دولت یعنی members of the government منظورم این باشه اوکی نه همه دولت این عضو این عضو این عضو این عضو ما اینجا are استفاده میکنیم. بنابراین اینجا گفته که we use group of people okay like government team committee etc singular or plural form. Okay. The third part, in this, that, these, and those. Okay, we use this, that, singular, noun, and verb. Okay, you know that this story. This story, for example, that's very simple. Okay, you know that. For example, we say this is a table. This is a table. Okay, this is a table, and we say these are tables. I'm sure you know. Okay, these are tables. Okay, and we have the same story for the others, for example for that, these, and those. Okay, there is no story. The second point is that we use this and that and these and those to refer back to the object already mentioned. They must agree with the noun already mentioned. Okay, as you could see here, here we have the word tropical climates produce great biodiversity. These conditions, as you can see, these refers to these conditions. Okay, these conditions refers to you have a kind of arrow here. These conditions refers to tropical climates. Okay, tropical climates. Okay, the tropical climates are plural. Okay, climates, we have the climates here. Okay, and since these are the plural form, we use these conditions. Okay, we use these conditions. Okay, we use these. We don't say, for example, this condition. Oh, this is not correct. Okay, because these conditions return to the subject. I mean tropical climates. Okay, and since tropical climates are plural, we have to use these conditions. Okay, not this condition. Okay, that's very important. Okay, and when we use these conditions, okay, we have to use are, because these is a plural one. Okay, conditions is a plural one, and again we have to use are. Okay. Oh, look at here. In my opinion, this government's record on the protecting wildlife is not good enough. As you could see here, this is this is return to record. Okay, and since this record is a singular form چون record در واقع شکل مفرده اوکی و این is در واقع به این record برمیگرده و این مفرده ما مجبوریم از فعل is استفاده کنیم. Got it? The next point is some let me say that both, either, neither as a subject. We use both and with plural verb. Okay, for example, both wind power and solar power are okay. Here after both we have wind power and we have solar power. Okay, we have two kind of subject. Okay, therefore we use are. Okay, instead of is. For example, look at here. For example, look at here. For example, that's an important point which I want to. For example, both my father and mother. Okay, here since after both we have two nouns, I mean father and mother. Okay, I should use a plural. I should use, for example, agree. Okay, if I write, for example, agrees, I mean the singular s is not correct. This is not correct. Okay, this is not correct. I have to admit it. Okay, because we need a plural verb. Okay, agree. Okay, both father and mother agree. Okay, not agrees. Okay, because here we have two nouns. After both we have two nouns. Got it? Agree that, not agrees. Okay, agree that, blah 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 blah. But okay, we have both and, okay, and I have to write the word and here, and you know, and let me see something else. For example, but for the word either, you know, or for example, neither, nor. For this one, the story is different. When we talk about either and or, okay, in Persian, we say as a subject, we say that ya in, ya un. How? For example, when we say either my brother or my sister, okay, یا برادر من یا خواهر من، okay, either and or، یا ایشون یا یکی دیگه، either، okay, either my brother or sister, okay, either my brother or sister. Or for example, neither and nor means نه این نه اون. For example, neither, oh sorry, neither, I have to change it into capital, neither my brother nor my sister, okay, neither, okay, and neither and nor. You know, these two could be used as a subject, either and or, you know, either my brother or either, okay. We are going to use, you know, a verb for this one. یا برادر یا خواهر من, okay. We are going to say, for example, agree, okay. Which one to use, agree or I use agrees? Which one is the correct one, you know? Or for example, for this one, agree or agrees, which one, you know, is the correct one? Which one would be the correct form? You know, in such a kind of case, you have to look at the second subject. I mean here, the my sister. This is the determinative factor. If this my sister, okay, is a singular verb like this one, my sister, I have to use agrees, okay, here again. But here, if the sister, for example, you know, is a plural form, means my sisters, okay, my sisters. If this is a plural form, okay, if this, you know, has a plural form, for example, my sisters, okay, I should use agree instead of agrees. Therefore, agreement, you know, in this case happens with the second, I mean here with my sisters, with the second noun, okay, which is your, I mean with my sister, okay, with my sister, okay. Don't pay attention to my brother, don't pay attention to the first subject, okay, to the second subject. You have to pay attention to second subject, my sister, okay. And according to singularity and plurality of the second subject here, you know, my sister, you can determine whether, you know, agree or agrees, okay, should use, okay. Or for example, here, you know, I have to say, if I want to say passive word, for example, is punished, okay. Or for example here, but here, because my sisters is a plural form, I have to say are punished. Okay, just take a look by this one. This is the story by either and this one, either and or. For each, every, and all, okay, when we have this one in the subject, we say, you can say, we use each and every with singular noun and verb, okay. For example, you know, we should say each form, okay, each form is, this is the correct one, okay. If we say, for example, each forms, oh, this is not correct. This is not correct. Okay, each forms, we don't have each forms. Okay, you know, no, each form is not correct. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, just each form. I mean, after each, we have to use singular noun. Okay, like form. Okay, you know, each forms are, okay, you know, this is not correct. This is not correct. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, this is not correct and should be erased. Okay, and of course for every, okay, for example, every for example, every form. Okay, every form. Look at the example here. Okay, and every, we use singular noun. Okay, for example, again we say that every person. Okay, for example, every person, we should not say every persons. Okay, every person. Okay, you know, but for when sorry but when we talk about, you know, all, we use all with plural noun and plural form. Okay, for example, you know, here is all forms. Okay, all forms. Okay, you know, all forms, as you could see, all form of energy cause, as you could see, form is a plural form. Okay, with all, okay, you know, we have to use the plural form. For example, you know, all men. Okay, all, for example, people. Okay, all animals. Okay, you know, these are the plural form. That's very important. Let's go to the next page. Okay, for the next page, I said before, اون اسامی رو گفتم که در یک واحد در واقع قرار میگیرن. Okay, look at this one. You know, pollution. Okay, pollution. Okay, pollution. Okay, in Persian means آلودگی. خب این آلودگی خب خودش uncountable دیگه، یعنی غیر قابل شمارشه. ولی وقتی ما میگیم the amount of pollution، این pollution رو در داخل یک واحد در واقع قرار میدیم، شما دیگه اصلا با pollution کاری نداره. این که اینجا فعل مفرد یعنی حد استفاده شده به خاطر pollution نیست، به خاطر این واحدیه که قبل از pollution، یعنی the amount. got it. یا مثلا نگاه کنید pesticides اینجا یعنی آفتکش. اوکی، مثلا همین مثلا همین تار و مار اینا. اوکی، سمایی که برای آفت استفاده می‌کنن. pesticides خودش در واقع حالا جمع بسته شده، یعنی اس، ولی میبینید که باش فعلش ایز اومده. میدونید چرا؟ به خاطر اینکه قبل از pesticides ما اومدیم pesticides رو در یک واحد قرار دادیم، گفتیم تعداد، the number. اوکی، the number. و چون number اینجا مفرده، همراهش اومده فعل ایز استفاده کردیم. ما همینجا نگاه کنید the types of pollution، اینجا نگاه کنید، اینجا گفته the amount، ببخشید، خب شده is. وقتی pollution رو اومده در داخل type استفاده کرده، چون type جمعه اینجا شده r. got it؟ یا مثلا chemicals. اوکی، مواد شیمیایی، چون اومده در داخل واحد quantity استفاده کرده، یعنی کمیت های موادشون، این جمع اومده در واقع have آورده. این خیلی در واقع حواستون باشه که مهمه. اینجا من در مورد این the number و a number چیزی بهتون بگم. ببینید when we use the number, for example the number of people. Okay, people. Okay, here the number of, for example, the number of infants. Okay, here in one story we have the number of infants and we have a number of infants. Okay, you know, here infants, you know, is not important. Okay, we have to take a look on the number. By the number we use, as you could see here, okay, by the number, okay, we use singular verb. Okay, for example, the number, because here we have the, okay, the number, okay, we have to use is. The number of infant is, okay, I have to use is here. is okay is I have to use is okay is increasing okay it's increasing. But if instead of a number the number I use a number okay this is should change into plural form are increasing. Just take a look by the difference between a number and the number. That's very important okay and that's very important. آخرین مسئله میخوام بهتون بگم این که یک اسم حالا یه فاعل یه اسم مثلا قابل شمارش باشه یا غیر قابل شمارش باشه اینو من فارسی بهتون بگم تأثیر برای 3 قسمت میذاره. خب همونجوری که متوجه شدید خدمتتون عرض شود که یک تأثیر برای فعل میذاره. یه با اسم خب اسمی که قابل شمارش نباشه یا اسمی که مفرد باشه خب فعل مفرد استفاده میشه. با اسمی که قابل شمارش باشه و خب جمع بسته بشه فعل جمع استفاده حتما باید باشه. پس اولین تأثیرش بر روی در واقع فعل جمله است. دومین تأثیرش بر روی صفت‌هایی که در واقع با چیز استفاده میشه با اون اسم میخواد استفاده بشه به خصوص صفت‌های شمارشی. خب مثلا فرض کنید من وقتی میگم که مثلا وقتی بشه خب من میگم یک برادر brother اوکی ولی اگه این برادر مثلا تبدیل بشه چند تا برادر من بعد دیگه اسم جمع استفاده کنم بگم many brothers اوکی مثلا دیگه ما نمیتونیم بگیم a brothers اوکی بعد بگیم many brothers. اسامی غیر قابل شمارش صفت‌های شمارشی خاص خودشونو دارن. مثلا میدونید که دیگه a little مثلا میدونید که دیگه a little به معنی مقدار کم و a little یا حتی little اوکی این چند تا little به معنی دیگه یه چیز خیلی کمه میگن little یا مثلا much به معنی خیلی زیاد. اینا صفت‌هایی که منحصراً با اسامی غیر قابل شمارش یعنی اینا اصلا نمیشه با اسامی قابل شمارش استفاده بشه. وقتی میخوام بگیم یه مقدار کمی آب بعد بگیم مثلا a little water یه مقدار کمی آب بعد بگیم در واقع نکنید a little water یه مقدار کمی آب. یا مثلا میخوام بگیم یه مقدار زیادی آب بعد بگیم much water اوکی بگیم much water. اگر اسامی قابل شمارش باشه خب الیدل معادل داره. مثلا برای اسامی قابل شمارش ما معادل الیدل هست a few اوکی معادل مثلا لیدل که میشه دیگه خیلی کم میشه few به جای ماش هم میگیم منی. باز اینا فقط با اسامی قابل شمارش استفاده میشه. مثلا ببینید مثلا میگیم a few اوکی بدون این فاصله بدون دوباره گیر نده a few مثلا خدمتتون عرض شود که animals اینا باز حتما با اسامی قابل شمارش استفاده میشه. یا مثلا میگیم many people نکنه تأثیر میذاره پس تو شما چه نوع اسم شمارشی استفاده بکنید. خب پس توی صفت ها و سومین قسمتی که استفاده میشه تو ضمیر دیگه تو پروناون هایی که استفاده میشه یا احتمالاً صفت هایی که استفاده یعنی صفت های ملکی که استفاده میشه یعنی possessive adjectiveی که استفاده میشه که برمیگردن به این اسامی دیگه. ببینید اگر مثلا فرض کنید من اومدم برای این much water اوکی مثلا بگم که میگم که there is مثلا little water یا much water مثلا in the glass اوکی in the glass در داخل بعد من بخوام در واقع مثلا تو جمله بعد برای این a little water یا much water بخوام در واقع ضمیری استفاده کنم دیگه نمیتونم خدمتتون عرض شود مثلا بگم they بعد حتما ضمیر مفرد استفاده کنم چون مرجع ضمیر که a little water یا much water غیر قابل شمارش بعد بگم it اوکی بعد بگم it مثلا حالا ما سعی میکنیم اینو چیزش کنیم سعی میکنیم که این داستانش درست بشه it که در واقع نمیتونم بگم they دیگه، نمیتونم جمع ببندم چون ضمیر این ایت به این مشمادر برمیگرده. مثلا میگم it is، حالا هر جمله دیگه میخوام بسازم براش. اوکی، ضمیر با مثلا برای a few animals. اوکی، مثلا خدمتتون عرض شود میگم که there are a few animals. اوکی، there are. اوکی، یه جمله دارم میسازم. there are، منم تیشو بزرگ کنم من. there are a few animal or many people. مثلا خدمتتون عرض شود in the، حالا یه جایی. اوکی، حالا هر کجا. بعد میخوام جمله بعدی رو در واقع بنویسم. میخوام مثلا ضمیر استفاده کنم برای اینها چون جمعه دیگه نمیتونم بگم it، بعد بگم they. اوکی، یعنی ضمیر بعد استفاده کنم که در جمله بعدی جمع بسته بشه. این همون قضیه کوهیژنی که تو کلاس بهتون میگفتم، تو کلاس رایتینگ، که باید در واقع رعایت بشه. یعنی حواستون باشه که خلاصه یک اسم قابل شمارش و غیر قابل شمارش رو این 4 تا جزء در جمله بسیار تاثیر میذاره و بعد حواستون خیلی جمع باشه به این قسمت قضیه. گفتم خیلی چیز خیلی گسترده است. بهترین رو هم اگر هر زمان فقط این درس ما میده که اگر یا اسامی استفاده کنیم که خدمتتون عرض شود که اینجا گفته دیگه، گفته اگر در واقع حالا subject and verb agreement اشتباه بنویسید تو رایتینگ، نمره بسیار زیادی رو تو رایتینگ از دست میدید. اوکی، میگه حتما در واقع بایستی تو رایتینگ زمانی بدونید که یکی از چیزایی که باید چک بشه بعد از اینکه رایتینگتون نمیشین همین، آیا فایلی که استفاده کردید با فعل اگریمنتش چطور. من تمرین رو بهتون مثال بزنم. توی تمرین اول گفته بعد بر حسب فاعلی که وجود داره تصمیم بگیرید که آیا این فعل بعد مفرد نوشته بشه، یعنی باید اسم سوم شخص بگیری یا درست یا نه. مثلا میگه scientist at Oxford University. اوکی، آیا این بعد بشه believe یا بعد بشه believes؟ که اولیشو میگم چون scientist فاعل جمله است. اوکی، و جمع بسته شده اینجا باید بشه believe. اوکی، یعنی believes نوشته نشه چون اون اس سوم شخصه، برای مفرد استفاده میشه. توضیح دادم خدمت. توی یکی دوم در واقع مچینگ دارید. باید ببینید خب کدوم 1 2 3 4 A B C D کدومی که مال کدوم یکیه. خب خیلی باید دقت کنید که فاعل این طرف با فعل این طرف در واقع اگریمنت داشته باشه، به هم دیگه در واقع موافق باشه، که حالا چیز دیگه من nemiگم. ببینید اینو نگاه کنید. شماره 3 1 کم کم باید شما آماده بشید دیگه برای حالا گراف. یک گراف براتون داده numbers of bird butterflies in the UK city gardens. خب تعداد در واقع پرنده ها، پروانه ها و حشرات در باغ‌های در واقع حالا UK. و گفته در سال 1980 مثلا خدمتتون عرض شود اینجا نوشته تعداد برد ها، این اولیش برده، این ستون بزرگه در واقع میشه butterflies، این آخرش هم میشه insect. اینجا گفته چقدر تغییر داشتن. مثلا این تعداد برد داشت مثلا میلیون بوده، مثلا در سال 1980 2 میلیون بوده، بیشتر 2 میلیون بوده. تعداد butterflies نزدیک 4 میلیون بوده، پروانه‌اش و اینسکتش هم 2 میلیون. همینجوری دیگه 1990 دهه 1990 یعنی 1980 یعنی 1980 تا 1990، این اس یعنی دهه decades، 1990 تا 2000 2000 تا 2010 2010 تا 2020. بعد اینم در واقع حالا این بنده خداییه که یک متن نوشته خب در مورد حالا این داستان، ولی این متنی که نوشته اون subject and verb agreementش در واقع غلط داره. شما باید اون رو پیدا کنید. مثلا ببین این گراف مفرده، خب چون مفرده بعد می نویسه shows. اوکی، در صورتی نمیشه شو. خب این غلطه، شما باید اینو درستش کنید. خب به همین شکل بعد ببینید کجاها در واقع خب فاعل و فعل مشکل داره و نوشته بشه. خدمتتون عرض شود که grammar tips رو گفته که when you have to complete sentence. اوکی، میگه وقتی مجبورید که جملات کامل کنید، یک نوع سواله در امتحان آیلتس که باید جمله رو شما کامل کنید. Remember that، به خاطر داشته باشید word you write in space، لغتایی که اون جای خالی می نویسید must fit grammatically، باید حتما در واقع به لحاظ گرامری در واقع درست باشن. یعنی وقتی تو جا خالی رو پر میکنی به زبون ساده، اون لغتی رو که استفاده میکنی حتما مثلا اگه فعل داری می نویسی بعد حتما نگاه کنی که با فاعل مثلا چی باشه، agreement داشته باشه. خب میگه هر وقت اون لغت رو نوشی check for agreement between noun and verb، حتما چک کن که در واقع حالا اگه اسم می‌نویسی با فعلش مثلا agreement داشته باشه، اگه فعل داری می‌نویسی با اسمش در واقع خلاصه این داستان فقط صرفا اون اسم رو از اون متن نگیرید، مثلا اگه ریدینگ باشه فقط اونجا بنویسید، حتما باید چک کنید که اوکی این اگریمنت در واقع چی وجود داشته باشه. و فکر میکنم مخالفین تمرین یه متن بهتون داده خدمتتون عرض شود که the problem with climate change، این متن رو میخونید و با توجه به این متن این 4 تا رو کامل میکنید، یعنی این جا خالی ها رو با توجه به این متن کامل میکنید. بهترین تمرینش در واقع اینه، تمرین شماره 4، اوکی، که باید ببینید مثلا اینجا مثلا neither professor nor doctor Brandy چه فعلی استفاده میشه. وقتی تازه فعلش از اینجا پیدا کردید حتما بعد اون فعل با دکتر برندی موافق باشه، یعنی اون فعل بعد اینجا اس سوم شخص بگیره، حالا هر فعلی میخواد باشه، چون دکتر برندی اینجا براندی یا برادی، اوکی، دکتر برادی اینجا مشخص میکنه که اینجا فعلی که باید استفاده بشه، چون دکتر برادی یه نفره سوم شخصی و فعلی که باید استفاده بشه حتما باید اس سوم شخص بگیره. این تمرین در واقع برای این نکته بهتون داده. این تمرین خدمتتون عرض شود که completing sentences هم نمیخواد انجام بدید. البته اگه انجام دادید بد نیست، یه متنی بعد بخونید، اوکی، این متن رو از دیکشنری هم میتونید استفاده کنید، دیکشنری در واقع مونولینگوال باشه، تک زبانه باشه. بعد با توجه به این در واقع بعد این جاهای خالی رو پر کنید. مطالعهش گفته بیشتر از 3 تا لغت نباید باشه، نکنید نمیشه no more than 3 words، تو جا خالی بیشتر از 3 تا لغت نمیتونید استفاده کنید. این تمرین خوبیه، حالا بالاخره ما تو ریدینگ به این تمرین میرسیم، به این جا خالیه، اوکی، انجامش بدید بد نیست. لذا پس کل تمرین اینو در واقع انجام بدید که میشه 3 صفحه دیگه، صفحه 31 32 و 33. امیدوارم که از این تدریس لذت برده باشید و خوب نگاه کنید چندین بار و اینکه خلاصه استفاده کنید. موفق و معید باشین. خدا نگهدار.